For the next hour, you belong to us. We'll bring you the very best in handpicked, unsigned rock and metal. Don't worry, you're in safe hands. We are Two Bucks.
Hi, we're Stone Angels, and you're listening to 2 Bucks Radio.
Oh, do you ever have one of those shows when you just think, I can't get the staff, can you? Obviously, that was the blood-curdling Stone Angels. Yes, but if you've ever woken up and found them in your living room, you'll know what I mean. Now, all joking aside, they're actually some really nice fellas. And what happens in my living room stays in my living room. Well, until I've cleared it up anyway. Now, before we start talking about next weekend's gig, oh, it's got to be a classic. I'd like to address the problems that Vinny and myself tend to have with Samsung autocorrect. And doesn't everyone have problems with that? For when we're doing our show promotions, well, we're at work. My phone tends to correct 2 Bucks Rock Show into the 2 Bucks Rick Shoe. So if that does come up, have a giggle about it. Go on, why not? I do. And it tends to correct Vinny's hell yeah to heel yeah. So here we go. Yeah! He's now yahed. So my apologies for being a grammar Nazi, I can't help it. That's the way I am. Let's get on with some music. This weekend, 6th of June, the 2 Bucks Oldies present a bunch of 2 Bucks youngsters and blood debt, who are at best recycled teenagers, I suppose. Unlike me and Vinny, are just grumpy old buggers. We'll be starting proceedings with Eden in Progress. Now, I haven't seen Eden in Progress live since Grumpy Whiskers in Cheltenham. Even then, when they'd only just started, you could tell there was something there. So I'm looking forward to a second bite of that. We have live rounds. I can't wait to meet Rosie the crew again. Ah, good times. Becoming a bit of a second home for those guys. Blood Debt, who we still don't have any proper recordings of yet. Might try and take some live stuff from the gig, actually, if I can get away from the sound desk. And then, coming all the way down from Manchester, and I really can't wait to see these guys, One Last Run. And although we've been playing them for a little while, this will be their first time in the 2 Bucks live arena. So we need to make them feel welcome and special, because they are. Oh, one last little warning to the bands. The Lower George have now had a noise limiter fitted. It is a requirement of the council that it is done. If you exceed the noise limiter, the power will go off. When that happens, it's just the drums. Nobody wants that, do they? So let's kick the show off with a track from Welcome Home Sanity. That's the EP that Eden in Progress have got up on their Bandcamp page. It's a name your price download. 3 track. If you give them £3 for that, at least they can buy a drink and a couple of straws when they get to the Lower George. And for all of you fans out there of Japanese anime, this is a track called Death Note.
Turn out the lights, now I'll be alright. You left
So that's Ben Harwood, Mike Webster, Darryl Gray and Ollie Ponting, the constituent members of Eden in Progress. That's from their EP Welcome Home Sanity, which is available as a Name Your Own Price download. I'll tell you what, let's not do that. Let's not do the Name Your Own Price download and then type in 0. Let's wait until the gig. Buy it off them there. Next up, the Boys and Girls of Live Rounds. Now, I don't have to tell you about their album, Militia. You've probably all got a copy of it anyway. If you haven't, make sure you've got one by the end of the gig. And it has to be said, the good thing about buying them at the gig is that you can actually get the bands to sign them. This is Live Rounds with the track Live Rounds. That's Live Rounds. The album is called Militia. The track was called Live Rounds, obviously. Now, for all you Live Rounds fans in Bristol, there's been a little addition to their gig list. On Friday the 19th, just before they play their gig in the Doll's House in its new home in Abertilly, they'll be at the Old Hatchet Inn, Bristol's oldest pub, so be careful with it. They'll be creating havoc along with Malicious Intent, two other bands to be confirmed. This is all for Ghetto Vikings record. It's the first ever Ghetto Vikings record summer raid. Right then, as I said earlier on, we don't have any mastered recordings from Blood Debt. There's a bit of live stuff knocking about, so I'm going to play one of those, and I'm going to let Rob introduce it for himself. This is Blood Debt.
Right, for our second song, it's a bloody hard word, this one. This one is called Floating on Borrowed Time.
So that was Blood Debt. I did let Rob introduce that one. It's called Floating on Borrowed Time. I think once we've got them set up and got them on stage, I'll try and get some recordings on my phone and see if we can make them a little bit more clear. And that leaves our headliners, their debut show for $2. I honestly can't wait to meet these guys, and I'm hoping that you guys get involved and make them welcome. They are Becky Roberts, Rob Leach, Jack Pennington, Chris Smith and Dan Brown. Collectively, they are One Last Run. This is a track from their self-titled EP, which you can pick up on their big cartel page for £5, or, as we've said earlier on in the show, you can wait till you get to the gig, buy it directly from them, get them to sign it. This is called Close My Eyes. There you go then, so that's One Last Run. That track is called Close My Eyes from their self-titled EP. 5 tracks on that, so that for £5, not bad. So remember, don't download that EP for £5, wait till they get to the gig and buy it from there. They're driving all the way down from Manchester, make it worth their while. We are $2. Let's make them feel like we're one of the family. Hashtag the bejesus out of that. So, that's your details for the next $2 gig, Lower George Inn, 6th of June. See you all there.
Hey, this is the $2 Rock Show.
Get away with your funky self. Right, let's make things a little bit louder. Who are the bands that we play? That's easy. This is from Shadows of Serenity's EP, Last Chance. In fact, this is the title track. Sufficient intensity increase, I believe, there. That was Shadows of Serenity, with the title track from their EP Last Chance. Right, I believe it's just about guest presenter o'clock. So if you've sent in a soundbite for this could very well be you introducing your favourite unsigned band of the moment. If you haven't, it's going to be someone else. So let's get some more in. You don't have to have anything high-tech, anything fancy. Do it on your phone. Pick a band that you really like from the unsigned scene. It doesn't even have to be a $2 band, to be honest. I'll find them and I'll get the track. But it's nice that you guys can actually introduce a track that you want everyone else to listen to as well. And sending it's easy as well. You don't do it from your phone. If you send me a message via Facebook on your phone, it gives you the option to attach a file. Then you can attach the soundbite that you've recorded. And Bob's your auntie's living lover. So who's on this week? You'll find that out as soon as this introduction's finished. It's time for our guest presenter with their track of the week. So please welcome this week's guest presenter with their current favourite unsigned song.
As Ben Swift from Stone Angels, I'm going to introduce you to a lovely new track from the second album of Venus Mountains. This is Night of Fire.
Fire!
So that's Venus Mountains, our mental Italians. Oh, I hope everyone's alright. I did forget to do the standard lock up your women and hide your pets warning before I played that. That was Ben Stone's pick for you guys to listen to, one of his favourite tracks. Tell you what, seeing as you had a little bit of a treat from Ben, I'll give you a little bit of a treat from myself. Primarily because I've just been given a little bit of a treat from Ded Orse. This is their new track. This might even be the first time it's ever been played on the radio. So please try to contain yourselves. This is Ded Orse. Their brand new track is called Never Far Away. So there you have it, the brand new track from Ded Orse, first time I've ever played it. It's called Never Far Away, and it is as awesome as all the rest of them. You will be able to catch them at the Doll's House on the 19th of June for the Uber Hard and Heavy Fest 8. That's $2 in conjunction with Uber Rock. What could possibly go wrong? And of course they will be at Jasper's Jollies 1st of August at the Lower George, when I will indeed be having some jollies. And on the subject of jollies, some were had last weekend at the Lower George's pirate themed charity day. I was completely wiped out at the end of that, I can tell you. But I did get this.
You're listening to $2 Radio with me, Michael Knowles.
And I hope that means he's listening to it as well, not he's planning on taking over it. Right, I think what we need on this show is a bit of sun. And although Cairo Son is in the wrong context, it doesn't matter. That's what the show needs.
With the things that I've said, maybe I was wrong for letting you go straight to my head. And baby, am I wrong for thinking that you love me instead? Finding, oh baby, set me free. Baby, I was wrong for giving you all that I have. And maybe I was wrong for wanting you all to myself. Maybe I was wrong for losing control and falling off track. 'Cause baby, when I fall is when you take what you just don't give back. What you just don't give back now. 'Cause I'm lost and I need finding, and I'm feeling so divided, and I'm starting to lose control. And I fear when you see me as I'm going slightly crazy, that I'm starting to lose control.
That is Cairo Son. I was wrong. They came down, they took the roof off the Lower George in the most gentlemanly way possible. And I really can't wait to do it all again. Don't forget the limiter. Right, it's almost time for my guest band for this week's show. I'm not quite sure I'm going to play yet, so let me stick on a little bit of High Fighter while I think about it, and then I'll introduce you to them. This is from their EP, The Goat Ritual. This is Fire in the Sun.
Wasting my time in here. I'm having no more regret. Keep this under control. Want all these demons to take your like fire will know. Can you feel the rush? I'm on my way to go. I'm leaving all behind, and it will rise until like fire will know. Oh, I am here. That's wild to get. Oh, all that girl just close your like fire will know.
Awesome. That's High Fighter, Fire in the Sun. It's from their debut EP, The Goat Ritual. Now I've had time to think about who I'm going to introduce as this week's guest band. I've decided to go to America for them. So this is one for $2 International. They're from Ardmore, Oklahoma, and they go by the name of Octave Jaw. And they are Larry Carter on vocals and guitar, Jeremy Carter on lead guitar, Greg Morgan on bass, and KC Carlisle on drums. And I know you guys are going to love these guys as much as I do. So let's have a $2 Facebook family outing. We can pop across there, like their page, show them some $2 love. This is a track called Never Free. So that is this week's guest band. They're called Octave Jaw. They're from Oklahoma. Hope you loved that as much as I do. So that was the guest band for this week's show, which can only mean one thing. We've come to the end of the music. Well, almost. I've got one last track for you. So before we go to that track, I'd like to thank all of you that support 2 Bucks, all the new supporters, all the old supporters, the youngsters and the long-standing members. All of you band members that turn up even if you're not playing a gig on the night to support the other bands that are there. That's just awesome. And although we try to keep 2 Bucks as a fairly small, locally run thing, we do have to thank the bands that travel huge distances to come and play for us. We've had bands from Brighton, there's bands from Manchester, bands from Kent, Reading, London. We've even got a band that come over from Italy. I mean, that's just fantastic. You guys are the reason that this happens. And if I had a hat, I'd take it off to you. As far as the show goes, the people that I'd like to thank most are the people that interact. You, the guys that send in the jingles, all the little show adverts that you record for me. It's just awesome. So please do carry on doing that. I do appreciate everyone that you send in. The band that I'm going to use to finish the show this week were meant to be playing at the Frog and Fiddle on the 27th of June for the Reign of Fury homecoming gig. But the best made plans of Mice and Men, etc., etc., they've had to pull out of that for something else. But you can still catch them on tour. They are Elessar. This is called Finding Home. So, until next week.
Carry on, everybody. You've all done very well.